Now, when you see insiders buying their own company, it is always a very good, interesting thing to see, because it motivates even the people from the outside, as retail investors and other financial institutions, to obviously do the same, right? Because there's no way that you, as an owner of a business, you can uh, inject a lot of money into a company that is going down, or into your company that you know is not going anywhere. So it is for that reason that it is always taken as a very positive move, or a bullish move, when you see insiders buying their own company. Now, talk about that. We just read a wonderful news coming from the new CEO of Naspers and Process, who just used his own money, in fact over 81 million, to buy Process shares. This to me it's bullish, right? I mean, this guy just took his own personal money worth over 81 million rand and put it onto Process. This is his company. I mean, he's one of the executives into this company, and doing this kind of move to me wants me to think, or provoked something into me going to look into, of course, Process. I mean, I've owned Naspers for some time and sold it at a profit, but I've never really owned Process. I mean, Process, you know that it is one of the global technology investing companies, which is something that, of course, it is interesting to see the CEO investing this kind of money into this company. So this, like I said, it is always considered as a bullish move, and it provoked me to going and having a look at some of Process latest financials, to just see as to, or to just try to find out and see how the financials of Process are looking. I know that the reason might be something that we might still don't know about Process, but this to me, I think it's a call for going and dig deep and see the latest developments, the latest sense onto Process. I've not done that. I'm still going to do that and go and do some due diligence onto Process to identify if whether it is there is opportunity here. But this move that was just made by the CEO, it is the first sign to say that there might be something that Process is doing, or something, or Process current performance might be so good, which is resulting into the CEO of Process to go and add or buy shares worth over 80 million rands onto this company. I mean, this is the CEO of both Naspers and Process, and to see him scooping over 81 million rands worth of shares onto Process and not Naspers, or at least cut half, it makes me wonder why much priority onto Process. So it made me wonder. But anyways, when I go and just check quick financials of how Process has been performing, I found the following. They've got a current ratio of 4.25, quick ratio of 4.77. I mean, with the current ratio, you'll know that this 4.25 just simply means that they've got 4 times assets than their liabilities. So the kind of assets that they have are 4 times bigger than the current liabilities which they have, which is something that is pretty exciting. This is one of the key terms that is very important, because obviously you don't want to invest into a company that has more liabilities than the assets which they have, because it doesn't offer the highest level of liquidity. That company, when things go wrong, it is going to easily, or it will be very quick for the company to go into liquidation. Whereas if the company has got more assets than liabilities, then obviously they can survive. It offers some good level of liquidity, which is something that is pretty exciting. So Process has got a 4.25 current ratio, quick ratio of 4.77, which is something that is pretty good, pretty solid, and I like this. Now, when you talk of gross margins, they've got gross margins of 40% or of over 40%, incurring a direct cost to the kind of service, to the kind of products that they are selling, which is to know that it's currently at 40%. This is a very good or a huge percentage, which is very interesting. I mean, gross margins are very important onto companies. This goes to all the companies in the stock market. It's risky to invest into companies that have gross margins less than 10%. It's a bit risky, but again, you obviously need to also evaluate, because most unprofitable companies, they will have obviously low gross margins, right? But obviously it tend to get better with time if the company is good. But on average, or in a nutshell, you don't want to invest into a company that does not have at least a high gross margin. Any gross margins below 10%, according to my own analysis, it's bad, right? But once again, you need to do your due diligence and just analyze, check that company against its peers too. So it is also an important figure. But nonetheless, these are some of the things that I just quickly went and browsed over the net to just see how of course the process is when it look into their financials. There are other things that I also checked, but I think maybe going deep it will require me to do some due diligence. But the most important thing about this video is that the CEO, who's a CEO of both NASPAS and Process, just bought shares of Process worth over 81 million, which is something that is pretty exciting. This is a bullish thing, or this brings a bullish sentiment around Process, because like I said, when you see insiders buying their own company, it is always considered as a good thing. Otherwise, with all that, I just thought I'd just give you this quick update. Tell me what you think. But I think if you're interested, you should also go do some research, some due diligence onto Process. I mean, there's no way that a CEO can just come and throw in 81 million on a company that's going down the drain. I think it is a very strategic move, which might mean that those that are also doing the same, or those that might go and inject money onto Process, might definitely reap some good results or rewards or returns in the future. But nonetheless, this video is not professional financial advice. These are just my opinions. So you need to also do your own due diligence, because I can't tell you what to do with your money. The choice is still yours to make. Otherwise, that's all from me, and God bless you all.